The Golden State Warriors just got a massive win, and they are inching their way up the Western Conference standings. If you want the Warriors to be a top 5 seed in the Western Conference playoffs, go down below and like the video right now. What's going on, Dub Nation? You're watching Warriors Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Tyler Smith, and Golden State just got their signature win in the Jimmy Butler era, defeating the New York Knicks on the road in Madison Square Garden, 114-102. And it was on the heels of an elite second half, a script-flipping second half by Golden State. Found themselves down 8 at the end of 2 quarters. And they flipped the script and win the second half by 20, win the game by 12. Much thanks to number 30 and honestly number 10. Jimmy Butler and Steph had a massive second half, and Steph absolutely went off. Golden State this is great news for Golden State as they are inching up the Western Conference standings. They are 3 games out of the 5 seed at this point and only 5 games out of the 4 seed. They could be climbing up those standings if they continue to stay hot. Now 9-2 since making the Jimmy Butler trade. But before we get into all the great news that we saw from the big win in New York, I want to talk about something because obviously we know what this man does on a nightly basis and how he can carry this Golden State team. But when he's off the floor, it is a totally different picture. Golden State is just not the same team. You have players who can't really create for their own. Like, what's the offense that Golden State runs, right? It's a bunch of guys standing around or setting off ball screens, waiting for Steph to find his opening, and then other guys will be able to find gaps in the defense as they collapse in on Steph. When Steph comes off the floor, that doesn't happen because guys can just play one-on-one defense and not have to send traps or doubles or anything like that because Golden State doesn't have the proper shot creation on the roster right now. Steph was magnificent tonight. Like, he was getting those opportunities, and the defense was collapsing in on him. That's why he was able to dish out 9 assists. He's averaged like 10 over the last 3 games. Defenses are collapsing in on Steph. They know how much of a threat he is offensively. And for smart passing players like Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, Brandon Pajemski, and a couple other guys on Golden State's roster, to be able to find him is awesome. But for him to be able to find those guys as well, getting open cuts to the rim is even more imperative. And it's unfortunate that he can't play 45, 48 minutes a game. But when he comes off the floor, Golden State's not good. Like tonight in this ball game, the Warriors, when Steph was off of the floor, were probably in the negative today. Like, they win by 12. Steph is a plus 23, so you're a minus 11 off the floor with Steph. And that's conducive to what happened a couple of nights ago against the Philadelphia 76ers. When Steph Curry was on the floor, they're a plus 12. When he's off, they're a minus 19. They lose the game by 7. Like, I hate to rely on him that much, but that's the reality of the situation for Golden State. That's the life that they live. They rely on Steph and his ability to hit crazy shots and be the best off-ball player that's really ever lived in this game. But man, if he has an off night, Golden State's not going to win a lot of these games. Now, I don't want to talk too much about the bad. We'll talk more about the good in just a few moments. But first, I got to give a major shout out to today's sponsor on the program, and that is PrizePicks. PrizePicks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform because it's daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. All you guys got to do is pick a lineup of 2 to 6 player stat projections and just pick more or less on those stat projections. It's that easy. Whether it's basketball, hockey, esports, golf, bowling, darts, doesn't matter. They have it on PrizePicks. Combine all the sports if you want to and win up to 1,000 times your money. I had a PrizePicks lineup for the Golden State and New York game. Draymond Green more than 22.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Cash that. More than 17.5 points for Jimmy Butler. Cash that. But Josh Hart, unfortunately, could not get enough boards to get more than 10.5. You can tell my picks. You can fade my picks. So make sure you go and do it at PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use the promo code CLNS for $50 instantly when you place your first $5 entry. You don't even need to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks. Run your game. All that information will be clickable down in the comment section and description of today's video. All right. I will finally talk about the good news. Is beating a really, really good New York team. And you know what? Quite frankly, catching them on a really off shooting night. They went 8 of 33 from long range. But credit to Golden State's defense, man. They were swarming. They were hunting the mismatches. They were making the Jalen Brunson play hero ball, collapsing in on him and forcing the other players on the perimeter for New York to shoot through open threes, and they just weren't hitting them. Like, I give a lot of credit to Jerry Stackhouse and Steve Kerr's defensive game plan tonight because they found a way to beat the Knicks. They did not have Karl Anthony Towns, but regardless, not going to compare the two, but Golden State is not at full strength yet either. They were able to go out there and get a big win tonight. Now, we talked about Steph at the beginning of the program. Obviously, he was nasty. He was hitting daggers. He was just all around awesome out there. Another 5 for 9, another 5 threes hit tonight. Over the last 11 games, he's averaged numbers that are basically like this right here, like 29, 6, and 7. Like, this guy is unbelievable, and he continues to be that for Golden State. But we finally saw a little bit of aggression from our guy Jimmy Butler tonight, who went 6 of 12 from the field. Obviously, the jump shot is still an issue, and one of them was really, really ugly. But 19 points, got to the free throw line a ton, missed a couple, which I was a little upset about, but he made them when he really needed to. He was aggressive and cutting to the rim and finding openings when he needed to. He's such a smart basketball player. He contributes so heavily to the team defense, and especially in those lineups where Steph is off the floor. If they didn't have Jimmy, which we saw on Saturday against Philly, they would be absolutely toast. Absolutely toast. Draymond, he was solid. I mean, nearing a triple-double, 8, 9, and 8. I mean, 8, 9, and 8. What else can you ask for? The guy does it day in and day out. Grabs rebounds when it's crunch time. Defends shots at the rim. He was great. Podziemski really started this game off hot. Did not play particularly well in those lineups that did not feature Steph on the floor. Ended up shooting pretty solid from the field, but I can't knock Pods too much. I mean, he is what he is. He is what he is. He makes smart decisions. Gets caught a lot of the time, though, with the ball in his hands late in the shot clock. Has to force something really, really bad up. When he's playing within the flow of the offense and he's not trying to play hero ball, he's a really, really good basketball player, and I like having him out there. Guy Santos. All right, Guy. Talk to me nice, Guy. I mean, this guy was awesome tonight. He poured in a triple when it was like a massive shot. I mean, I can't complain about anything I saw from him tonight. I can't complain a little bit about this guy. I know, 15.6 rebounds. Looks great for Buddy Hield. Looks awesome. 3 for 10 from 3, and he luckily hit 2 of them in the fourth quarter. I guess you have to take the good and the bad with Buddy Hield if he's gonna knock in 3 threes. I don't like when it's on 10 attempts, but he's got a knack for, hitting some transition layups and putting his head down and getting to the basket on a fast break. He provides some things out there. Not a great defender, and when he's not knocking down shots, I really, really get mad at him. He turns the ball over a lot. Don't love him when the ball's in his hands, but overall, it's an above-average performance from Buddy Hield tonight when you really boil it down. Quentin Post, not much action on the offensive end. Left a couple of post hooks short. Hit a 3. Wasn't particularly great against this New York Knicks team that played small a lot of the time. So not expecting too much from him in a game like this, especially in a really rough, rugged defensive scheme like Tom Thibodeau runs. But hey, overall, he was solid too. Moody, he was there. He was good enough. Moody's main assignment was guarding Jalen Brunson for a lot of this game, and he did an all right job. I can't get too mad at the job that Moses Moody did, even though Brunson poured in 25. It's 17 in that first half, and they kept Moody on him in the second half, and he only had 8 points. Like, you're going to win a lot of basketball games holding Jalen Brunson to 8 second half points. And we got a lot of contributions from a lot of guys tonight, but I will caution us once again that the Steph Curry minutes when he's off the floor, they still have to be worked on. What was your number one takeaway from the ball game? Let me know down in the comments section. My number one takeaway is that the Golden State Warriors are playing good basketball. So many off-ball sets tonight where you found guys just rubbing off of off-ball screens and going and find themselves wide open underneath the basket for wide open layups. The defensive game plan was good. This was a great coaching win by Steve Kerr and the coaching staff there in Golden State. Shout out Jerry Stackhouse. Shout out Terry Stotts. And, when you get a night like that from Steph Curry, you're going to win a lot of those basketball games. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel, youtube.com/WarriorsTV, for all the latest Golden State Warriors news and rumors. We'll come at you guys with more videos this week, and we will also be live once again on the channel on Thursday night for the game against the Nets. So lock us in if you're a diehard Dubs fan. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you in the next one. Let's go Dubs.